World Rhino Day was observed on the 22nd of September. Across all 5 rhino species, there are fewer than 28,000 individuals left worldwide, the latest State of the Rhino report revealed. Rhino poaching in Africa increased by 4% from 2022 to 2023. At least 586 African rhinos were poached last year. They face a myriad of threats, including habitat loss. But poaching remains the biggest threat, mainly due to the belief that rhino horns possess medicinal properties.
It was a first for such an operation. In September last year, Professor Thomas Hildebrandt from the Biorescue Project performed the transfer of a southern white rhino embryo into a surrogate mother. But the day was not historic for the southern white rhino, which has a population of roughly 20,000. It was a great day for another subspecies, the northern white rhino, population 2. The transfer of an embryo was a test to see whether it was possible to create a lab-made embryo and implant it into a similar rhino.
We are here today with 33 embryos. We have a lot of embryos available, and we estimate that we can produce about 10 to 15 babies. Our main goal, and this is probably not something that I personally will be around for, is that in 20 to 25 years, the first animal can be released again in Central Africa.
The northern white rhino subspecies is technically extinct with only 2 females remaining. Scientists now hope to preserve the northern white rhino subspecies using stored semen from Sudan and other dead rhinos, as well as the perfection of in vitro fertilization techniques. Earlier this year, researchers said a less endangered southern white rhino was impregnated through embryo transfer in the first successful use of the method. Philip Muruthi, Vice President for Species Conservation at the African Wildlife Foundation, says rhinos are of cultural, social and economic benefit to Africa. Muruthi highlights Kenya's success story of being able to grow its rhino population from just 380 in 1986 to 1,000. He attributes that success largely to protective sanctuaries.
Economically, rhinos are amongst the biggest attractors of tourists. They are the big 5, amongst the big 5. There are also reasons, social and cultural, why we want to maintain rhinos. Can you imagine an Africa without rhinos? Can you imagine an Africa where we are telling our children, oh, you know, we used to have this big animal, this is the picture. What a shame. Our generation should really be looking at why we have borrowed these rhinos from the future generation.
At Kenya's All Pejeta Conservancy in Nanyuki, the last 2 northern white rhinos were technically extinct, but the caretakers at the sanctuary are hopeful of a renaissance for the subspecies. Zakaria Mutai has been a ranger for 21 years and has been the primary caretaker of the last male northern white rhino named Sudan. He's happy on this global day set aside to celebrate the beasts.
I wake up every morning to take care of these animals. I look after them like my own family. The subspecies only exists here, and I am very happy to see them every day. I ensure they get water and food, and I am very proud of my work. I love it.
The body of the last male northern white rhino named Sudan that died in 2018 has been preserved and displayed at the museums of Kenya in Nairobi. A research scientist and curator of mammals at the museum said preserving Sudan will tell the story of how the species lived among humans and why conservation is important. Africa Bureau, WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.